Hey everyone, welcome back. Do you have a range that looks like this that is not working right? Is the display dead? Is it not baking, broiling, not keeping temperature? Well, in this video I'm going to be showing you how to replace the main control board. So essentially the first thing you want to do is you want to get it unplugged, or you want to flip the breaker. What I'm doing here is I'm just pulling it out just enough to unplug it. And it was really tight. I mean, they built this thing in super tight. They actually silicone the sides, which you can't really see, but they silicone the sides, and it has a downdraft, so it's pretty tight. Go ahead and get it unplugged. Safety first. Cut the power. Gloves, glasses, PPE. Got my knee pads there too. What you're going to want to do is go ahead and unscrew the bottom portion right under the control panel and the knobs. There's just 3 screws, and then this little metal sheet's going to come off. Alright, now that's off. You're going to have another screw on this side. I'm looking at it right there. Essentially there's a bracket that holds on the whole burner knobs and everything. Yep, that screw right there. You're going to take that one out, and then you're going to have the same one on the other side. And then what you're going to want to do now is you're going to want to lift up on the whole thing, because essentially now that those are unscrewed, it's just on some hooks. And you can see there that the old rubber gasket strip has fallen off. And at this point here, this is important. Essentially, you could unplug everything, all the connectors and wires and everything. But what I like to do is actually get some zip ties and zip tie that front control panel onto the frame of the range, which you'll see in a minute here. Alright, as you can see, I have it zip tied like I was talking about. That's going to help support it if you don't want to completely unplug everything. Next, you've got 3 screws that go into those brackets, into the cooktop, the glass top. You're going to want to take those out. Pro tip there, get yourself a tray where you can separate them. That tray actually is magnetic. So what I'm doing here, there's essentially these little tabs on the glass cooktop that go into those brackets, and I'm just removing that old gasket there. But basically you kind of pry the bracket a little bit, and then those tabs come out. You can kind of see it there, they're like a flat tab. And right now I'm just kind of inspecting, trying to see how exactly it comes off, and there you go, it just lifts right up. Yeah, you can see that giant wad of dog hair there. This lady's got a ton of dogs. So I was seeing if I could do it with just having that cooktop, glass top lifted up like that. But I realized, alright, well I'm going to have to take this glass top off. And I'm looking back here, and you can see there's a similar bracket, so there's another couple screws you're going to have to take out. There you go. I know it's kind of hard to see with the angle, but there you go. You can see that one a little bit better. Take those 2 screws out, and then you should be able to take the glass top completely off. You just angle it up, push it back towards the wall, and then slide it and take it off. Alright, next what you're going to want to do is you're going to have these 3 screws going along the left and the right side of the range that basically holds the burner assembly bracket. You're going to want to take those out so that way we can lift up that whole bracket and assembly. Okay, like I was saying earlier, you kind of have to bend those brackets forward and able to release the tab so that we can lift up. And that gives us just enough room so that we can access that control board. I went ahead and disconnected that connector just to give me a little bit more room. And then you'll see in the middle of that bracket, it kind of goes over that downdraft air duct. So you kind of have to slide it up and off of that. And I'm just kind of looking around like, alright, what is holding this control board in? Yep, there's the new control board. Just inspecting it, making sure that it's got all the same connectors. You know, every once in a while you'll get a part that doesn't quite match up. So you don't actually have to remove these, I think, but I ended up doing it just you know, I'm learning as I go. Because essentially there's a bracket that holds in that main control board, and then there's really the one you need is that one on the side there, because that is what holds the control board to the bracket. So I just went ahead and unscrewed all three of them so that I could pull the control board out. And I do start disconnecting some of the connectors here. I typically will recommend you guys take a picture of things before you start disconnecting things. Just in case, every now and then you're going to have a board or you're going to have some kind of component or machine where connectors can be hooked up backwards. And it's always good to take a picture, so that way when you're putting it back together, you'll be able to see what goes where. And at that moment, that's when I realized that the bracket didn't need to be unscrewed. And I actually end up removing that middle support bracket so that I could have more access. Yep, there we go. Then I was able to slide the whole board out. And see, the bracket just comes off, so I end up putting that back. You're going to want to be gentle with that ribbon cable. That ribbon cable is very thin. It's just as thick as a few sheets of paper. So I have seen where it'll rip if it bends at a certain angle, or if it twists and folds on itself, it'll crease. So yeah, just use just enough force. Don't go in here going crazy with strong arm and things. Oh, we finally got that one out. I'm going to go ahead and screw in this bracket first, like I was talking about, because it doesn't need to be unscrewed. So I'm going to screw that back in, then put the board in and screw the board to it. Yeah, I'm removing that dog hair. There's tons of dog hair. I mean, there was like handfuls and handfuls underneath this range because I went ahead and did like a service to it as well where I vacuumed it all out, and there was so much dog hair. Alright, so I'm putting the new board back in. You could do it, you know, however you want. If you want to hook up the connectors first or if you want to do them later. I chose to go ahead and screw in the board and then put in the connectors afterwards, but you could really do it vice versa either way. Now I do want to kind of mention this. Essentially that new board, it came with a new ribbon cable that was like purple and was actually made out of wires instead of like that ribbon, which I actually, if some of you guys might end up catching this, but some of you might not. So essentially I put it in, put everything all back together, right? Went to test the range, and then I had an error code that the keypad was shorted. So I ended up taking it back apart and replacing that white ribbon cable and putting it back. So yeah, just a heads up, if yours comes with the board and the like updated ribbon cable, I would suggest you leave it. I would suggest you leave that white one in there as long as it's not damaged, because at least for me in my experience, I ended up having to put it back because the one that it came with didn't work. So I just wanted to throw that in there. Alright, well I'm just checking all the connectors, making sure everything's tight, making sure that everything's plugged in. It's always good to spend an extra couple seconds or an extra minute or two just making sure that you've got everything connected and as it should be, especially in a repair like this where you have to take the thing completely apart, which it does seem a bit intimidating, but you know, after you've done this kind of thing a few times, it's not too bad. So essentially we've replaced the board and now we're putting it back together. I'm going to put that front support bracket back on. And if you all are wondering why I'm changing the control board on this, there could be a few different reasons why you would. So the first reason would be the unit's completely dead, right? The display is done. You've checked voltage at the wall, right? You have voltage going into the wall, but the unit's completely dead. So that could be a reason why you change the control board. Yeah, I'm just looking in there, making sure that there's no weird things going on. And you can get a better look at those zip ties. So now I go ahead and speed up the video just because I didn't want this video to be like an hour long. You know, I wanted to respect your time, respect my time. Essentially, you're just putting it back in the same order but in reverse. So you're going to screw in these screws for the burner assembly bracket, then you're going to go ahead and put this glass top back on. Now this glass top is a little bit tricky to put on. What you kind of have to do is there's a little air vent right in the back, which you may have seen, that goes all the way in the back, and then you actually have to slide it over that middle air ducting. So I know I made it look simple, but sometimes it can get caught up if it's not lined up right. And you're just going to want to go ahead and screw all those screws back in. Some of the other reasons you'd want to replace the control board is if you don't have proper voltage going to the bake and the broil elements. Oh, also you're going to see me cut myself in a second here. There are some really sharp edges. Yep, you see that? I just cut myself. Not too bad, but definitely enough to be uncomfortable and bleed a little bit. So yeah, always wear your gloves. I was wearing these gloves because it was so greasy, but I would suggest you wear the thicker gloves that I typically wear because they're going to help prevent against cuts. So this is a prime example of safety first. Wear your gloves, wear your PPE. Because yeah, these appliances have some sharp, unrefined edges on the inside. Yep, there it is again. So, you know, learn from my mistakes. So at this point, I've realized that you can actually put the control panel back up on those guide hooks, and then you can come underneath and cut the zip ties once it's already on there. So yeah, you're just going to want to cut those zip ties off and then screw those screws in those brackets, and we're almost there. Yeah, I believe I mentioned before, I actually have a few other videos from this range. One of them is where I test the bake and the broil element for continuity, and as well as the fuse. Another one is also where I replace the temperature probe. So if you guys are interested in those, go and check those out. And I just want to give a shout out to all my new subscribers and anyone commenting. Thank you. I appreciate you a lot. I hope these videos are helping. My main goal with this channel is to help you guys fix your own stuff, so that way you don't have to have somebody come out and pay a bunch of money to do it. I hope this helped you. Have a great day, and I'll see you in the next one. Later.